Hey, welcome to Fries and a Glass of Wine. I'm Mel, and this is the podcast where we sit down, share a plate of fries, pour a glass of wine, and just talk. Like, really talk. Every other week, I invite a friend, or sometimes a stranger, to join me for a casual, heart-led conversation about life, love, work, or whatever's on our minds. No scripts, no structure, just real conversations over fries and wine. So grab a glass, settle in, and let's see where this one goes. This week I'm sipping wine and chatting with my great friend Tim. Tim and I have a problem where we could both yap all day and still have more to talk about, but I promise you, we try to stay on topic as much as possible. We talk about Taylor Swift versus Beyoncé. I hope you know which side I'm on. The year of Tim and my Lady of Leisure summer. Every moment is so good, and so I hope you enjoy it. Tim, I think this is the first time we've seen each other since I moved.
Yeah, because I feel like we've like caught up, but we've never like FaceTimed, and I feel like we voice noted and we've chatted on the phone, but like I don't think we've had like a FaceTime.
Yeah, I think you and I are really good with texting though.
Yeah.
So, and there's not a lot of people I'm good with texting.
No, and I'm like getting on like the voice note train a little bit as well too.
The irony, because you sent me a voice note, like, was it this week or last week? Or over the weekend?
Probably.
You sent me a voice note, and I didn't prompt you with that because like I prefer a voice note or a FaceTime.
Yeah.
But you did it on your own, and I loved that.
No, it was like I feel like I sent you like it was like a 3-minute one, just like kind of about nothing. But like that's, I think, again, Yap City bitch, how it works.
No, because I'm like looking at your shirt and I'm realizing what you intentionally wore a Taylor Swift shirt.
That's right.
But I think we were yapping about Taylor Swift versus Beyoncé, which I stand by what I said, which is like, she's not for me. Like, will not give her the credit that you want me to give her.
Okay, but here's the thing though. This is where I keep going back to. Like, you can also like both. It's fine to like both.
I know.
And give credit to both.
Yeah. One of my friends that I went to Beyoncé with, like, she's been on the Eras tour. She loves Taylor Swift. I'm not that person.
Yeah.
And I don't ever think I will be that person. I mean, I did like her earlier stuff.
Okay.
And then she lost me.
And
I just like, I don't like, she just doesn't vibe with me.
That's fine. That's fine. But you have to give her credit for her, like, what she's built and what she's done. That's the thing. Like, you don't have to be like, you don't have to enjoy her music, but you have to appreciate what she has done. You can do it. Come on.
You know, I'm like, I have a hard time lying and like being fake. So
I wouldn't say that like Beyonce is my favorite artist by it, but but I appreciate what she brings to the entertainment industry, the joy that she brings people. Like, I can give her all the credit in the world as like an excellent musician, great dancer. Like, she's not necessarily for me, like not my favorite type of music, but like, I love that she's doing this for people.
Okay, I saw something the other day.
Yeah.
And as a comment on, I think I sent you the TikTok. It was about this woman who's a Swiftie, and then she went through Beyonce's discography, and now she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Beehive. Like, I didn't understand.
Yeah.
And now she's like, she's more a Beyonce fan now than a Swiftie. And I think I sent it to you, but I was looking through the comments, and someone said, Taylor makes you love her, Beyoncé makes you love yourself. And I was just like, yes. Especially after the concert, I felt that. I'm like, she is pouring love into every single person here, and I felt it. I think I said that to you.
See, and here's the thing, like, I don't fully disagree with that, but I also think that Taylor, I feel like, has done things that like make people behave that way. So it's like, even like when she was like releasing her albums in the past, she would like have people over to her house. So I feel like everyone thinks that like in some world they can all be friends with her. I feel like Beyonce's established herself as like, she's pretty fucking, can I swear on this? Is that fine?
Yeah, you can. You're fine.
Okay. Like, she's pretty untouchable. Like, no one's gonna go have dinner or like drinks with a Beyonce, right? And like, I think at like this level of fame with like a Taylor Swift, like, I also think you wouldn't now, but like 5-6 years ago, like, you potentially could, right? Like she'd pick people out of a crowd and like you can like go backstage and like get a picture and stuff with her. Like I don't think Beyonce's ever done that because she's like, no, I'm too big for that and I won't do it. But like I think that's made people not be the same with her versus like Taylor. I think people are like, we could be friends. Like she could call me and we could go hang out. Like she's like oddly reachable, if that makes sense.
I think that that is a role that she's playing.
Yeah,
And I think that Beyonce has realized she's like, it's not safe for me to do that.
for sure.
And but what she does is that she does remember her fans.
Yeah.
Like there is Anthony Crosby hyphen something Knowles.
I
Have you
feel like I
seen
saw
that?
this where there was like the guy with like his last name's Knowles and she's like, there's my cousin or like there's my husband or
Yeah.
something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was like in 2009.
Yeah.
And then he was at I think it was the DC show,
Yeah.
the front row, and had the sign, and she remembered him. And like that callback too,
Mm,
like I think that that's where people feel seen by her and like
sure.
loved. And like that woman is chronically online too. Like she gets like the references and she'll like call it out. So
Yeah.
she's connecting with her people, but from a safe distance,
Yeah.
which is what I like
And I
about
think like
her.
I actually think that like Taylor and her do the same thing now where it's like they don't like they're chronically online and they keep their distance. But I think
Yeah.
because of how it started, that's why this whole like movement like Beyonce's never invited people over to their house, to her house.
I mean, it's no. And I
No,
wouldn't. I
no,
also like I wouldn't feel comfortable
no. But
if I
like
were like
no,
to be given that.
but Taylor has, right? And so I think people are like, oh, now if you like act like extra crazy and like really show up, like if you go to like 40 concerts, like she's gonna see you every time and whatever. And I'm like, that I think it's created this like kind of crap that probably people like you are like, fuck, the Swifties are insane and they're the worst. And
Yeah.
it's because of this whole like parasocial thing that's been created.
Yeah. I think, I mean, we can say what we want about the royal family, but like the queen's not inviting just anyone over,
No. Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
like not anymore, obviously, because she's dead. But
Yeah. R.I.P.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, R.I.P. to the queen.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's invited vetted people over, people who have decorum, people who know that wealth whispers.
Whispers. Yeah, like how would you react if Beyonce invited you over for dinner? Like what would be your initial thinking and like what would you be excited about and what would you be scared about?
I would be scared of having like a brain glitch.
Mm,
I've had that twice happen to me where like I wanted something really badly and I've gotten that opportunity and like my brain just shut down.
mm,
So like that is my fear.
yeah.
And it's usually when something is like really not aligned with me and like it's like what I thought I wanted versus what I actually should have in life. Like it's something that my body does. It's like, no, this isn't for you. Don't do this. I think like my body would be like, no, you're meant to befriend Beyonce.
Yeah, so
But
you're
like
like
still it'd be
you're gonna go meet her and be like, yeah,
yeah, I'd
like
be like,
yeah, fair,
ooh, cheese.
fair.
Do you like cheese?
Yeah, yeah,
That
fair.
kind of situation. But I do think I would be fine in it, but that would be my fear.
Okay.
Um, I think I don't know, because like you always think about these scenarios and you're like, what would I do? And then like the situation actually happens. You're like the total opposite. But like
Mhm.
I'll dream with you on this one.
Okay.
I feel I'd be chill,
Like
you know?
you want to act like it's not your first time doing it.
I would definitely be like gracious and like appreciative and be like, thank you so much for like having me. Like this is a really great honor, like all of that. Because I don't want to seem like unappreciative of it. But I would try to like obviously be myself
Yeah.
and be like bring something to the table. I don't know, like I wouldn't wear something basic,
Like you wouldn't wear
right?
this?
Like
You wouldn't wear something
no,
like this? No.
no. I wouldn't even wear like a callback outfit that she's worn. Like they have this photo of Beyonce like way back in the day. I think it was like Destiny's Child, where it was like a mall, the spray paint t-shirts of
Yeah.
like a horse.
Mm.
And like it's hilarious. I would not do that as like a callback. I would wear something that's like a well, not a wealth whispers, but like a cultural whisper.
Okay.
Like something that was like procured, has a really great story behind it, something that she'd be like, "Oh, what's that?" And I could be like, "This is it,"
Oh, it's like
and like
this
this
kid.
is who.
This is like from like a blah, like yeah, like it's like my like
Yeah.
favorite person in Houston. Like like
Yeah.
yeah,
Or it's like this this designer out in like Mexico City who like empowers women and like employs like single moms and like bull, but like that kind of like doing good, because like I feel like that would resonate with her really well. But
sure,
I think I naturally would be doing would shop there anyways, but I'd
yeah,
like make sure I brought up something, wore something that had a story behind it that might catch her eye.
got it,
Then we could
got
chat about it.
got it.
You know?
Yeah, yeah, like you want to act, you want to be chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you do if you had a Taylor Swift moment?
God, I don't know. Like I feel like
Would
I
you name
would.
like every concert you've been to?
No, 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 no. I would try to be chill, but like I can't hide my chill. Like in general, like my life in general, I can't hide it. I don't know. I feel like I would be like I would want to ask her about like new music and like what's coming next and
Hmm.
um like when's she going on tour next so I can save more money. You know, like I feel like I think I would lean into being a fan because I'm like I think like if you're gonna do it, like it's like a once in a lifetime I think thing. Like she's not gonna invite me over again. So
Hmm.
in my mind, I'm like, you would try to just be like geek out a little bit without being annoying.
Yeah.
I think would be my thing,
Yeah.
right?
I would, I might, I might pull the thing that you've seen me do a number of times, because
Yeah,
I vividly remember you saying this to me, like that I don't really know a stranger.
yeah.
Or I would be like, okay, let's talk about something, and I just like find something, like I've like unearthed something, and we like double down on it.
Like, I feel like you could meet Beyonce and go to her and be like, okay, Beyonce, like tell me about your deepest, darkest childhood trauma. Like that would be like you would just go right into like the depths of her life instead of just being like, oh, like I'm a fan, like whatever. You'd be like, so like remember back in '93 when like your mom got mad at you for this? Like tell me about it. Like like she'd be like, okay.
I
That's I
mean,
think the realistic like meeting if you were to meet her.
yeah, I am a little bit more subtle in my approach, and I don't intentionally do it. I've realized that I do it a lot. I just like I don't care for small talk that much.
Yeah.
But like if someone like drops like a little nugget in a conversation, like a small talk, I'll be like, "Ooh, what's that little nugget? Let's go and explore." Like people have told me secrets like that I've met like that day, and I'm
Mhm.
like, "All right, like there is
Well, well, I
yeah,
was
I feel like I know things."
like my take on it was going to be is like I feel like you go. My take is that you're pretty direct with like going into the depths, but you create a space like immediately so that people are like, oh yeah, no problem. Like yeah, I'll tell you all about this. Like it's a
Oh.
little bit more of like yeah, I don't think you're that coy about going deep with someone, but I think you create the space to let them go deep with you so that it's like not weird and not like uncomfortable and like you're doing it out of a place of like just wanting to get to know the person a little bit better and like talk about different things, not from like a I need to know everything about you and gossip about you or do something like it's just you trying to bond with people, but you create the space to let people do it. That
Ah,
that's my perception of it, but
I
you might say
like
it differently.
that. You've known me for long enough,
Yeah,
so, and
yeah,
you've seen me in action long
yeah,
enough, so I'm like, yeah, I'll take that.
yeah.
I will take that. Timmy, I know you hate me calling you Timmy, and I'm so sorry
I
that I just did that.
It's okay.
A thousand peasant apologies,
Yeah, you're fine.
but you haven't complimented my hair.
Oh, I mean, your hair looks great, Mel. Did you get it done for this
Thank you.
episode?
No, no, this is the last week of this hair. My hair, for those who can't see, they're in boho braids, and this is the first time I've had my hair braided since I was 14.
It's like when you went to
So it's like a
when you went to Cuba with your family or something like that and got braided on the way home.
no. Did you
Oh,
not know I grew up like, oh, and I we wouldn't have talked about this, but I grew up getting my hair braided.
oh,
Like,
really?
especially over the summers, like my hair was always braided.
Oh, no,
And
I didn't know this.
so when I was in the ninth grade, I used to braid it myself
Okay.
too. I
Yeah.
would sit down in front of I had a laptop, or not a laptop, a computer in my room, and I would put on drumline.
Mm,
I would sit there, just like braid my hair myself.
sure.
And then I moved somewhere else and I just like never did it again because like I was one of five black people in the entire high school.
Got
So
it.
I was like, this isn't gonna fly anymore. But
Got
like
it. But like,
I
how long does that take?
my cousin did it and
Okay.
she is rapid.
Okay.
This took 4 hours.
4 hours.
That is fast. Some like average time is like 6 to 8 hours.
Okay.
So this took 4 hours. She was so fast. I was so surprised. And I got friends and family rate, which, we
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
makes me feel better to only have it in for 4 weeks. Because typically it can last like 6 to 8 weeks,
Okay.
but I'm getting my hair colored next week, so I have to take it out anyways. But I'm like, Timmy, this is the only recording I'll have with the
But do
braids.
you but
And
do you like it like for like more for like the summer, or is it like kind of just like you just wanted to do something different?
um I've been wanting to do it for a really long time. And when I went to my sister's graduation or residency graduation, she like told us last minute that it was formal and not semi-formal.
Okay.
And I'm like, I have semi-formal dresses like in the closet, like I can pull from. I do not have, I mean, I do have a formal dress that I can pull from at any given point, but it's more fall. It's a fall dress, and this is a spring time. So
Got
I
it.
went out and I found this dress. Like it's not something I'd ever pull for myself, but I put the dress on, and the sales associate, she's like, "You look like a fairy," and I'm like, "I need boho braids to complement the look."
Okay.
And then I sent the photo to a friend, and she's like, "You need boho braids to complement the look." And then I was like, "You know what? I have the flexibility right now to just like get them." We were flying in a day earlier than my sister's graduation. I like messaged my cousin. I was like, "Can you do this?" And just like the stars aligned for it, and I'm just like so happy.
Yeah.
You're
When you
like, I
say
give zero shit smell.
when you said flexibility to do them, like what do you mean by that?
Oh, um, yeah, because this isn't something that would ever like come across your mind.
No.
But um the flexibility to do them, like I think it goes back, well, it definitely goes back to like hair and how Black women's hair is perceived in the corporate spaces.
Mm.
I think it's gotten a lot better over the years,
Yeah.
but um, some people don't really like appreciate them or like have perceived judgments about them. And so like especially like I'm doing business development, like do I really want to go in with that? This is like an
Mm.
old thinking,
Sure. Like there's still like a
right?
bit of a
Now,
stigma or something against it.
yeah, there's an unnecessary stigma. And like I live in the South,
Sure.
while it's very diverse and there's a lot of representation here, like you still never know what someone's like carrying around their bias. And so like that was always part of it. But I was like, you know what? Screw it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
This is part of me. This is like part of my culture,
Sure.
and I miss them and they look good on me. And
Yeah.
now I think that they are my look.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And I want them all the time now.
Nice. Well,
But
I think it makes me sad to hear that because it's like an unfortunate where you're like like you should be able to do whatever you want with hair, but
yeah,
the fact that there's still this like perceived
yeah,
judgment or stigma or whatever about it, like it's too bad. It's unfortunate.
yeah. And like it might have gone away, and like I just haven't moved through that yet because I haven't had braids in so long. And so I
Yeah.
didn't have them. I probably could have done them in my last, when I was in Toronto last. Um, I think I would have been fine having them there because
Yeah.
that was a very great company that I worked for.
Yeah.
But I don't think I was really ready for that internal journey around it. And like also as a white man, wait, what's the song? Um, the I Want a Man in Finance.
Oh,
6'5", blue eyes. Like, what
yeah.
color are your eyes?
Not
I'm like
blue, but
not
pretty
blue.
damn
But,
close.
but you're like 6'4", six
Six, like
three.
just shy of 6'4", finance,
Finance.
trust
Yeah.
fund.
So
I don't have a trust fund, no, but like I've got two of the four. Two of the four is okay.
yeah, yeah. So like this isn't something that'll ever come across your world.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I had to like internally work through it too, and then like being mixed on top of that. I'm
sure.
like, can I carry these braids? Like, am I able to like wear these braids without judgment? It's a whole thing. Like, I remember when I just got them done,
Mm.
I had to go out to go get something. And I'm just like, all the girls were like staring at me. And I'm like, why are you looking at me? Am I being accepted right now? Am I
Yeah,
not? And then
yeah.
like, it's a whole thing. And it's an entire internal struggle. And I wanted to have a whole podcast with it about it,
Hmm.
not the braids, just like being mixed.
The braids.
Uh,
Yeah,
just
please,
the braids. Let's
you can
just
talk
get
about
over
the
the
braids
moment.
all day, I'm sure.
Yeah. With a friend who's also mixed, but she would be classified as light skinned. But I'm like, can we talk about being light skinned or mixed? And she's like, yeah, for people to be like, oh, these poor light skinned girls, and like we have feelings too. Like we have experiences that we like people don't think that we have, and that it's really hard to relate to,
Yeah.
because like you have to experience it to really understand it. So like my ability to find a mixed child is like top tier. I'm like, you can walk into a room like, you're mixed.
Mixed.
What are
Yeah.
you mixed with? Because you understand the plight.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
You just got educated in a way that you were like, I did not
I
think
love
about
it.
this. Well,
No, that's what, but
yeah.
that's why I feel like I'm one of those people like that's why I'm asking the questions because I'm like there's things I don't know and I'm like I need to know more about these things. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
appreciative that you're willing to educate me.
Yeah. I'm appreciative that you're like open to receiving and like curious too. Cause like people are like defensive as to like why they don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? We just
Yeah.
meet it with curiosity.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I think that's also because you're a man who's been to therapy.
Hmm.
And we love that.
We love therapy. Yes.
Yeah.
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 No, I feel like I've been going to therapy like once a month for 4 years, 5 years maybe. And I
Yeah.
feel like even when I started going to therapy 5 years, it was probably 4 years ago now, it was like a little bit frowned upon still. Like I feel like there was still like, one of my really good friends started to go to therapy and I was a bit like, it's odd. Like, do you need to go? Like, whatever. And then I feel like as life moved along, I was like, I feel like I could benefit from something like that. And it's now like, I feel like everyone talks about it so openly, but like,
Yeah.
I feel like in my experience, it was a little bit like you needed somebody to be like, I'm going as a little way of like pushing you to go. Right. Because I feel like,
Yeah.
again, like talking stigmas and stuff like that, I feel like that was one of those things where it was like 4 years ago, I don't know if you'd be openly talking on something like this about going to therapy. Right. But like
Yeah.
now it's changed.
I think I started around the same time too. Like I think I started in 2020.
Okay.
Um
I think I was 20. No, I think I was 2020 as well too, but like fall of 2020.
yeah, I think around the same time.
Yeah.
But like I started with like my through my employee assistance program.
Hmm.
And I found someone there. It was great, but then like you only have a limited amount of sessions
Hmm.
with them through those programs.
Yeah.
So then I had to go find my own.
Hmm.
So that took a little bit, but then I really got into the thick of it, I think in 2021, which was great. And I like didn't have, I mean, 2020 in and of itself is enough to go to therapy. But I think
100%.
when I started talking to like my now therapist, like I didn't really have something like urgent pushing me. I had read
Hmm.
something or heard something like the best time to get a therapist is like when you're feeling okay. And then
Like,
that primed me.
yeah, like retweet that whole thing you just said because I'm like, I feel like in my also that was so like boomerish. I mean, like retweet, bleh. Anyway, um,
I'm judging you so much right
I
now.
yeah, it's fine. I'm judging myself. It's okay. Is I feel like when I started going to, I had some things going on when I first started going to therapy, but like nothing big to be like requires a therapist, but like it was good to talk to somebody about like some of the things that was going on, and then like I feel like over the years, like life has gotten great and life has also gotten bad. And I feel like it was good to have like an established soundboard and someone to speak to in like moments of crisis when you were going through like a really rough time. Cause I found like, again, like when I first started, it wasn't overly like, it was helpful. And like, did I need it? Sure. But like, was it a dire need of mine at that point? No. But I've had like a couple instances in my life where like it's absolutely been needed. And it was nice to already have like an established rapport, like an established, like they know the history, like all of these sort of things so that when you're really dealing with it, like you're not starting. So like, I don't know if I would be like telling somebody who I've never met before, like all of my life, all of everything that's gone on, and like expect them to be able, like it would be almost exhausting for me to almost have to like explain them like triage or diagnose, not diagnose, but like help you through it without having any background. So to me, I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like when I was like going through like a bunch of big things, like I feel like I had already been with my therapist for like a year or two. So in my mind, it was like already a pretty good established relationship that by the time I really needed her, like it was good.
Yeah. I think, and if you'll allow me to go there, like
Sure.
you and I, like we've been friends. We were friends in university or college, like for my American audience college.
College, yeah.
Like, yeah. But I think we really got closer in 20, was it 2022 when we were both going through something?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
like we like met up to like talk about
yeah,
it.
yeah,
And I just remembered like thinking like I'm really happy like you've taken all the right steps to go through it and like you had your therapist ready. Like I when I what I was going through that at that point, I remember like I was ready to like wean off of my therapy, like or like cull back on the amount of sessions. And then, like the very toxic burnout, having harassment situation at my employment happened. And I was like, I don't deserve this. I gotta go.
yeah,
I'm leaving. Like, it was really nice to have her and like we can just go. And she helped me process all of that. And like, it was nice hearing that you had the same thing going
yeah,
on too.
yeah.
But like,
And it was funny in my situation as well too. Is that you're saying a lot of things that are resonating, and we're being really cryptic here. I'll get in front of mine really quickly. Like I was going through a really bad breakup in mine,
yeah.
and I feel like it was one of those things where it's like I think I had an appointment on like the Tuesday, and I was like, I don't even really need this. Like I don't really know I'm in good space right now. Like I don't really need to like talk to a therapist. And then like I think the breakup happened like on like the Wednesday or Thursday or like the week before. And so
Mhm.
that Tuesday I was like, oh, we are talking today. We've got
Weird.
lots to talk about. Like I'm surprised I even waited that long, but like I feel like it was like a weird thing where I was like, I don't think I need to go. But like I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And then I was like, oh, we sure as shit have lots to talk about. So but yeah, I feel like even with you and I feel like it was like again, like I know we joked a little bit about it at the start, right? But it's kind of like I feel like you and I build relationships. I feel like in similar ways where it's like I don't want to say it's not trauma bonding because that's
Yeah.
toxic and bad, but it's more of like we get deep pretty quickly, and so therefore people like open up trust and like I'll talk about myself very vulnerably as well too, and I
Mhm.
think that like creates the space, and I feel like during like that moment when we were having like our moments. I feel like I was like
Yeah.
opening up to you, which then created a space for you to open up to me. And then we kind of just went
Yeah.
back and forth with it, right? Like, I think that's what being vulnerable creates sometimes is like it gives you opportunity to talk to others and also gives them the space to open up as well.
Yeah. And I just like want to cheers. I'm just a quick cheers to our friendship. That
Sure. Cheers.
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 But I I've loved watching you. I don't love what you went through. that breakup, because that was really hard. Like you were engaged,
Yep.
and like that's a huge thing to break.
Yep.
And like you were living together and all of that, but like watching you like pull back your life, and you're like, no, we're gonna have the year of Tim,
Yep.
and we're gonna get through this, and we're gonna make it amazing. And I love that you called me out lovingly in the from the first episode of Fries and a Glass of Wine, of calling it the year of Jess,
Yeah. I was
because you're
like,
like, it's the year of Tim. I
yeah.
I did that, and I was like, it's from New Girl,
Yeah.
but
Well, you know what the thing is, I'm
I
like,
love the year of Tim.
yeah, and you know what, I've reflected on this a lot because I feel like what made it like such a fun thing. I feel like I told everybody about it. I was like, year of Tim, 2023 is the year of Tim, and like 2023 was the fucking year of Tim. Like it was the best.
Yeah.
It was great. Um, but I feel like when you grow up, you're like kind of given this like it's like this un or unspoken rule or like just general like societal thing that like being selfish is a bad thing. Like you can't like you don't want to be selfish. Like the last thing you want to ever be called is selfish. Right.
Yeah.
And so you live your life if you like if this is something that kind of like over or like basically is like over your shoulder like a cloud above you, you're like, I'm gonna spend my life trying to be as selfless as possible, right? I don't want to do anything involving myself. All I care about is like, I want to make sure I'm happy, but I want to make sure that like people around me are happy, that people are doing all these like I want to make sure that they're comfortable around me, they're experiencing life in all the ways that they want to do it and all that sort of stuff, and like less about yourself because you're more focused on like what they're doing. And I feel like fundamentally this like quote unquote year of Tim, which again 2023, fundamentally it was just me being selfish, right? Like it was like I'm going to do whatever I want with whoever I want. I'll go to wherever. I'm going to spend money on because like I don't give a shit, right? Like I feel like I've spent years of like just putting everybody else first and like not really putting yourself first. Like whether that's like as something as like you're not even taking like a moment to like reflect on yourself, or it's like I'm not going to this on this trip, or I'm not going to a place I've always wanted to go. And like fundamentally, like we branded it Year of Tim because it was like a fun way to whatever. But like fundamentally, it was like I had one year where I was like 100% selfish, right? And like did only things that I wanted to do. Like I only really was hanging out with people I wanted to hang out with. Like I very much was like, this is my year and I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. And I don't care if anyone cares about it because like, this is mine. This is my time now. I'm going to take the next year and do it.
Yeah. I love that. And like the year of Tim, while you're like, oh, it was selfish, I don't think that you did it in a way that, which there's like so many thoughts are coming to my mind. Like you did it in a way where like, yes, you weren't being selfish, you were putting yourself first, but you didn't harm anyone at the same time of doing that, which is what I think that people like. One of the things like I hate right now, and like I think us as a society, you looked at like Instagram therapists, and everyone's like, oh, like this, like the Instagram therapist said this, but you need context and you need like to actually do the work behind it to understand like when I say this is what I actually mean. So it's like I call it the scaffolding of like what that actually means. And so like I grew up, my dad would always say like you can't control other people, you can only control like how you react to it. Right. And I grew up my entire life hearing that, and like very profound from my dad, great, blah 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 blah. I agree with that, but like he never scaffolded that for me as a child. So I'm like, I don't know what you mean, and like how do I apply it? And I had a conversation with him a few years ago. I'm like, Dad, you never broke that down, you just expected me to learn to understand what that meant. And he was like, oh, I didn't know that. He like adults don't think about that. Right, they're not naturally teachers. But it's like those concepts, like the year of Tim, when you put yourself first, like there's steps to that, like healing yourself, like choosing yourself, but not harming people at the same time. And like year of Tim was just like so fun to witness to. Like I was part of year of Tim and I loved every moment of it.
Like it was
fun
like
for everyone.
Because I'm like, I feel like it was like I said yes to like things. I did things that like went to places and stuff that like I never thought I would. But then I also feel like I'm like, again, it was also like year of Tim again. Like we just talked a lot about it too, but I'm like spending time in therapy and like working through things and dealing with all that. Like it was like not just like on like a surface level. I feel like that's what like people got to witness, but like what they didn't realize is like there's a lot of shit kind of going on behind the scenes as well too. That's more of like private stuff that like I'm not going to be telling all the whatever, but it's more of just like but like, I mean, again, like I feel like I was like, as we were gearing up for this conversation, I was like trying to think about it, like what were all the things, right? So it's like I did like courtside Raptors the one night with my best friend, and then like flew.
That one was fun because you messaged me, you're like, what should I wear? And I gave you like, I did like a mood board for you and you chose none of it.
No, no, I mean whatever. Yeah,
You did what you wanted to do and I was like, it's fine.
it's fine.
But
Yeah,
you had fun.
yeah. Did that. I flew to Arizona and saw the Eras tour on opening night. I was there for like 2 days, so I like went to the concert, drove to the Grand Canyon the next day, and then flew home at night. Like I was literally there for like 48 hours.
Were
Becky
you
and
on
I-
like a,
yeah.
didn't you do like a radio thing around being at the
Yeah.
venue?
Yeah, so again, I was like, this point, I was like, whatever, what do I have to lose? I like messaged, I messaged one of like the main radios here in Toronto. I messaged one of like the producers and was like, oh, I'm from Toronto and I'm going to Arizona for the opening night of Taylor Swift's tour. I can chat about it with you guys if you're looking for like some inside scoop about what happened and what went down. And so I remember it was like, I'll never forget it. I was driving to the Grand Canyon for the day because I was like, oh, when in Arizona, and I think it was like I want to say it was like a 3-hour drive maybe or so there. But I rented a Tesla for the first time because again, year of Tim. So I was like, well, I'll try something, yeah, whatever. And I had to park my car to charge it, and I got the phone call like from like I had been messaging with the producer, and then he called me while I was like sitting in a parking lot charging my car to give him like a debrief of the concert the night before, and then it aired on their radio show like this was like a Saturday, so it would have aired on like Monday. So again, it's just like, why not? I'll message, and like worst case is gonna happen is like they're gonna ignore the message, and that's fine, right? Like
It's not the end of the world.
Exactly, right? So then it was like, and then like Becky and I got together at the start of that year as well too, right? So it was just like a whole evolution of that year, but I feel like it was just like a fun, it was just like it was a year that I will always look back on in like very positive ways.
There's like two other things I want to bring up of your year of Tim, but like my fun one, I think that this was part of the conversation because I was part of your journey of you and Becky getting together on both ends. And like that was a little chaotic, and I guess gave you guys both the same spiel. I'm like, I'm not getting in the middle of this. I'm here to support you both together but separately. But in my head, I think I did tell Becky this. I was just like, Tim and I are working on his survivor pitch and his villain arc. So like, should this go through, your dreams have to wait until we finish Survivor.
Yeah, I mean, Survivor casting, if you're listening, like, please call me. I would love to. I mean, yes, we're not in this year of mine anymore as well, too, but like, I will always answer the phone call if you're willing to make it. Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like that was like, I feel like I was like, that was a stretch. But I was like, again, like, I don't know, you record like a minute video for this. Like, what's okay? Yeah. Again, they'll say no. If they say no, that's the worst that's going to happen.
We were very much trying to take your lemons and turn them into lemonade.
Yeah.
In that moment. And like we were, I mean, at least I was, but I feel like you were too. We were having fun with that.
For sure.
Whole, like, what is the story that we're going to tell? Like, how are we going to paint you? Like, we had fun with that.
Yeah, and I feel like if you want to be on like a reality show or something like that as well too, like you need to have a story. You can't just be like, I live in Oakville and I want to be on the show. Like you need to have a little.
Yeah, there has to be something. That sets you apart.
Yeah. There was a lot of things that happened behind the scenes as well too that I feel like it wasn't all just like flashy fun stuff. Like there was all good stuff behind the scenes, but it just like there was more to it than just like this surface level fun.
Yeah. Like you were putting in the work, you were having the hard days.
Yeah. Hard days and like and like chatting with different people and covering off all the things. And I feel like it's like, because I feel like when you go through something like big and traumatic, if you don't deal with it, like either A, it's going to rear its head again in like a few years, or it's going to display itself in a way that you don't fully recognize. And so
Yeah.
whether that's you turn to drinking a lot, or whether that's like you, I don't know, like lash out at your friends a little bit more. So like it comes out in other ways without you
Yeah.
necessarily knowing that that's what that is. Like you're just like, I feel a bit more irritable today. And so that's why I'm like, I feel like with everything that I was going through at that time, it was like, you have to deal with it, because if you don't deal with it, then it's just going to make it worse. Either A, it's going to be like completely pushed down and it will like blow up in 3 years, or you're just going to start turning into a bit of a different person.
Yeah. I love that you're saying that, because I think I say this and people are like, oh, Mel, we're tired of hearing about this from you. And like, so it's like nice to hear it from someone else. And I do think a lot of people do listen to me. It's more family where I'm just
Yeah.
like, you got to deal with that. Family's always the hardest, right?
Agreed.
But yeah, like I remember what, not I remember the in 2022, when I was out of it.
Yeah.
So like when you were out of it, that's when you branded the ear of Tim.
Yeah.
When I was out of my thing,
Yeah.
I called it because mine was just a summer, and mine was just like just a very toxic work environment, burnout, and all of that.
Yeah.
Not minimizing it, but I called it my Lady of Leisure summer.
Right. Yeah. I remember this. The ladies of leisure.
And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and like people saw that. Like I would just call it Lady of Leisure
Sure.
summer. But
Yeah.
I like went to Mont Tremblant. I went hiking
Yeah.
for 4 days by myself. And like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like that is like, imagine screaming in the woods by yourself.
Yeah.
Cathartic, but also terrifying, because I'm like, what if I fell
Sure.
and I screamed for help? Like no one could hear me. Like that
Yeah.
was a little scary. But like I did that.
But
I
again,
came
like
down.
I would brand it the same way. Sorry to cut you off, but I'm like, I would brand it the same way. Where it's like surface level, it looks like it's just like a fun summer. Mel's just like taking time off and like not working, but like behind the scenes, there's way more going on. But you're just like, I'm not gonna like
Yeah.
post a therapy transcript online, but it might.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you balance it on both.
Yeah. So like I think when I did my recap of the summer, I took photos of it. Like I did certain things, and I just said, I shared with people. I'm like, while it looked fun on the outside, like I was actually going through some stuff, and like
Yeah.
burnout is real and all of that. And like don't stay when you're not being appreciated and being treated like crap. Like
Yeah.
all of that. And like I like being, obviously like being on the other side of it. Right now, I my thing, we haven't figured out what I'm calling right now.
Yeah.
Um,
We can workshop it. We can workshop it.
well, so for context for everyone, and I think that this is like overdue. It's been 18 months now, or close to 18 months now. Like I've not really talked about it except for like close friends, like you know about it, and a few other people know about it, but like, and I would give like little tidbits of like what's going on, but I was fairly quiet this past 18 months online after having been like such a bigger presence from before that.
But I feel like you've also had like a lot going on like outside of this as well too. So it's sort of like the
Oh,
move and new jobs
yeah.
and trying new business and stuff. So it's like I feel like it's also you just had a lot going on in general.
Yeah. So, what we had called it while I was going through it, and I'm still technically going through it,
Yeah.
but there's the first part. Well, let me find the words. And like, let's also, if I cry, let's just hold space for it, because I'm
Fine.
still in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But the first part, or no, the whole thing we call like the series of unfortunate events,
Mm.
because
Okay.
it was around the main bad events were around 6 to 8 weeks apart. They all happened within that time. But I also remember thinking, like, you know how bad things happen in threes? I had 3 sets of bad
Yeah.
or threes. So it was like
Yeah.
9 things that happened
Yeah.
all in a very short window of time. And I remember one of like my bosses, I'd come into work one week and he knew what was going on. And he was just like, I would like for you to come in one day and just like not have anything go on. I'm like, I would like for me to come in one day
Be
and not
really
have
nice to
anything
me.
go on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think he definitely knew. And I think that was his wish for me. And I was just like, yeah, I know. But I was still like you said, like if you don't deal with it, like you take someone's good wish for you and you're like, yeah, I know. Right. You don't react in the way you should,
Yeah.
or the way it's intended. But Uh, it started mid January. Like my body started to like shut down. Like I had a gluten exposure and have a gluten sensitivity, and like I could not even stomach water. And it was like I don't take days off of work when I'm sick. Like
Mm.
I'm Asian. We're gonna lean into that stereotype. We
You're
work
fine.
hard.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I had to go home because I was like lightheaded. They almost like wanted to call a car for me to like go home because I did not look good. And then it was 3 days I could not stomach food, water, or anything. So I'm like going to the doctor. So I have a whole bunch of medical issues going on. And then on top of like the day, like I get a clearing and I find out like, okay, everything's okay. I've gone back to normal. I'm walking into my building and I'm feeling good, and I see this man acting weirdly in my lobby, and I'm like, that's weird. But like at the same time, like you lived down the street from me, so like you knew like we sometimes had unhoused people who were just like acting a little off. They might have gotten into your secured lobby,
Yep.
but like they're not going to get, well, I mean, they could have gotten much further in my building,
Yeah.
but it's usually like handled in the lobby area.
Yeah.
So I just see this man like acting weirdly. And also, if you're working from home, you kind of look like you're homeless because, like, just the way you dress, too.
Yeah.
And he starts like collapsing. I'm walking slowly into the building. I'm on my way to a networking event. I'm on my way to go home, put my laptop down, change out my shoes, go to this networking event. This man's collapsing, and there's security's missing, and there's two other people in there. And this man's like, I've been shot. And that was when the shooting happened in our neighborhood.
Mm.
And I'm like, what is going on? Like one guy's on the phone with 911. He's like, I've been put on hold. The other girl's like panicking, not knowing what to do. I'm like, where's security? Like I'm running around looking for help. The guy is like on the ground. He's like, someone put pressure on the wound. And I was like, no, I'm going to throw up. Like I can't. Like going back to like when you think about a moment, like who you would be in that moment, if you would be the hero, if like what you would actually do, you never know
Mm-hmm.
until you're in it. And he just like kept on screaming at me to put pressure on the wound. I'm like, I can't. Like I literally can't. I can't. Like I'm a very squeamish person, and it just like was not going to happen from
Yeah.
me. The girl was like, I'm going to call 911. I'm like, this other man's on the phone on hold with 911. Terrible for
Yeah.
Toronto police. Like, why are you putting people on hold?
Oh
And
yeah.
like for that long too.
Yeah.
Our security comes in and he's like taking pictures of this guy and being like, what unit are you in? So I find out what unit this guy's in. And the guy's like, why aren't you helping me? And security like runs away. I run after him. Like the guy needs first aid. Security pulls out a first aid kit.
And it's like a
He pulls out a
Band-Aid.
Band-Aid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he doesn't need a Band-Aid. And then we run back because we had sister buildings. So we run back to the building. And at that point, like all the cop cars show up, like 20 of them in that cul-de-sac. And I am holding the door open for the cops as they storm the building with assault rifles because it's an active shooter situation.
Sure.
And all of that's going on. I see like people start to get questioned. I see the cops racial profile a neighbor, and I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? And I like text my family. I'm like, this has happened. Also, the guy lived on my floor.
Right.
There was only 12 units on my floor. So it's a very intimate floor. We pretty much knew everyone on it, except for I'd never seen him before. I like text my family, and like my sister's in surgery. She's not answering. My mom's like in the middle of something, and my dad's like, oh. And I'm like, not the responses I need right now.
No. Yeah.
I like call up my boss because like she and I were very close, but also the building across from me was run by my company. So she told me, she's like, you're safe. We'll get it handled. And like immediately, like they found me, got me a room. They have a guest suite. So they got me the guest suite there and all of that. And then I didn't stay there that night. I had to stay in my unit. And I had to, like, it was my personal thing that I had to stay there. And the cops were like, this is the safest it's ever going to be because we're going to be on the floor all night.
Yeah.
True. I remember like smudging with sage my entire unit. I was burning so heavy, and the cops like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm cleansing the energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what else do you do in that moment?
No, and I also feel like that's one of those moments as well too. First of all, I mean, I know you're going to continue as well too, but sorry you had to go through that, right? It's like a very traumatic tough thing. But it's like, I also think it's one of those things where it's like, you just like never think that that's going to be like something that you're going to live through. Like, it's like, you see it
Yeah.
all in the movies, you see it on the TV shows. And again, you can like think about what you would do, but like, to your point, like, unless you're in it, you won't know, but you also don't think you're ever going to be in it. So it's sort of like,
Yeah.
you don't put too much value behind preparing for it because you're like, that'll never happen to me. Like, that's the thing that's
Yeah.
a situation I'll never have to live out.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel like it's like you can't even prepare for it because you
Yeah.
just never imagine that that's going to be like your reality.
Yeah. And like I've had to go through active shooter training.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know if that was in Canada or the US
Mm.
or both, but I've gone through active shooter training. But like you don't pay attention to it because you're like, when is this going to
This will never.
happen?
It's like a
Right.
fire drill. Fire drill is the same thing, right? Where you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
sure, like, I know where to go. Like,
Yeah. Or and especially in Canada, you're like, we're safe.
yeah.
Right. No, I've always said like whoever does Canada's PR is fantastic
Mm-hmm.
because whenever we have something, we have like really messed up things,
Yeah.
or we have messed up things all the time, but we don't hear about it.
Yeah.
When it makes the news, it's usually very, very messed up.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's like the next day, and like I'm telling this because it just like shows the journey of like what you go through in like fight or flight mode. I went to our favorite workout, Barry's,
Yeah.
and at this point I was going like 2 or 3 times a week, so a regular there. Knew my trainer, told him like, yeah, I'm going through something, but I never said, I'm like, we'll talk about it after class.
Yeah.
And he saw me, you know me, 5'2". I run fairly fast, but
Yeah.
like I've got little legs. I was running 11.6 on the treadmill.
I know. It used to be like such a source of entertainment when I'd be running beside you because we'd be running at like similar speeds, but like my legs are like the size of you as a whole.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just funny
You're
watching
like
your legs like
jogging.
and mine being
Yeah.
like boop 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 like yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going 11.6. I think that was like the highest I've ever hit. And
Yeah.
I was going, like, if it was a 30-second sprint, I was probably going 45 to 60 seconds long
Yeah.
instead. And afterwards, he's like, what is going on? And I told him, he's like, well, this explains that.
Yeah.
Because he was like, that's not normal. And then I went home and I just like felt this overwhelming exhaustion. Like all my energy was like drained from me. And I just started crying uncontrollably. And then I was gaslighting myself. I'm like, well, I didn't hear the gunshot. I saw some blood, but I didn't see like an enormous amount of blood. I'm like,
Mhm.
all this, like, I just kind of gaslit myself. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I could not stop crying it happened a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mm.
And I could not, I think people who saw me via FaceTime or whatever, they were like, you could see the sadness in my face.
Mhm.
I remember I took a photo of myself during that because I was just like, this is interesting.
Mhm.
And I always felt guilty for like not putting pressure on the wound.
Mm.
Too. And then, sorry, I'm not, I only talk about this with like close people, so like bring it up again.
Yeah.
But then like, I was just like, okay, how do we make life normal? How do we make life normal? I went into work because home wasn't safe anymore. So I wasn't working from home.
Yep.
And everyone at work noticed the shift in me
Yeah.
because like I called myself the personality hire,
Sure.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm actually really good at my job, but like I am a personality, like I also bring the fun
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Imagine like the personality hire showing up but not being the personality, like, and just like close, like I locked the door to my office every day.
Yeah.
Didn't help that the door to my office was glass, so people could still see me.
Like, damn it. Yeah.
Yeah. So people are like walking by and they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. But my bosses knew. And so like they would do whatever they could to protect me. And then I get a text message from a random phone number. And it was a police officer. They're like, we're from the Guns and Gang Unit. We want to question you.
Yep. Super.
And I was just like, I'm like, I didn't see anything. Like I came in, like, this is what happened. And they're like, I'm like, I don't really know anything. Like there's 2 other people there. They were there before me. Like they would know more. And they're like, well, we don't even know the guy's name. So we need to talk to you. And I was like, holy shit. Does that not spark anxiety in you
Yeah.
too. And I'm just like, oh God, Lord. In my head, I was like, I'm about to go on vacation in a week. I just need to make it another week. And
Hmm.
I'll get out of here. I can recoup. My work was already like, how do we put like contingencies in place if Melanie needs to go on a mental health leave?
Yep.
My doctor, because of my stomach issues, was like, I'm already preparing to write you a note to go on short-term leave for your mental health. Like everyone could see it around me, and I was just like, I just need people to treat me normally,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And yeah, and my body was like so tense from it too. Like your body like
Hold
holds
on.
it. Like if even if you like you talked about like how you show it just like by how you react, like your body will hold on to these emotions too. So like I went for a massage and I was like a brick.
Sure.
And I just had like people reminding me like you were okay. Like
Yeah.
you weren't being selfish. Like you just like you could not show up in that moment.
No.
Luckily the cops were like, "Oh yeah, because it was on he got shot in the upper butt, lower back area
Yeah.
and on the left side. So like where it was, like if I had put pressure on it in the wrong way, the bullet could have traveled to his heart and he could have died.
Got it.
So
So
I was
like
like, okay, great.
everything works out for
Great.
every. Yeah. Yeah. But I also think
Yeah.
like you touch on we talked a little bit about it earlier as well too. But I'm like it's the same thing where it's like even I'm like it's different in the sense of like this was like full on trauma response.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it's sort of like similar where it's like you were kind of fine. Like you were kind of like, sure, you were like displaying some general whatever, but it wasn't until like a day or two later when you like really erupted, right? And that's where I'm like, I
Yeah.
think like it's different again because it's like this is like a traumatic situation, but I think like
Yeah.
in general, if you like push these things down, like they're going to come back out. It's just like how they display it. So like in this example, again, like it happened probably quicker than like something else because of the trauma behind it.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden you're just met with this like extreme sense of emotion because you've been holding that down for however long and you finally
Yeah.
released it, right? And
Yeah.
I think that happens with a lot of people, like outside of just trauma responses. Like if there's stuff in your life that you're not necessarily dealing with, like that same thing happens. All of a sudden you are bursting into tears out of nowhere and you're like trying to figure out why. And then like that's why therapy is helpful because then therapy
Yeah.
usually tells you
Oh,
why.
Tim, we need a part two just to even talk about the body stuff, which I don't, we might get into that.
Yeah.
But I would love to say that this is like the end of that story, but it's not. It's just the beginning
Yeah.
of that story.
Yes.
And I'll try to be like more succinct because I know I paint a very vivid picture when I tell a
Yeah. Love it.
story.
Love it. Good storytelling. Yeah.
Yeah, you and I do the same. We take people on journeys.
For sure.
Um,
Context. I give people context. That's what I always say.
yes, yes. Paint the picture. Take them through the emotional roller coaster that
Yep.
we've gone through.
Yep.
And so I decide to buy a paint with numbers because people are like, that's really good to help you with your anxiety and all of that and all that jazz. So it was Family Day, the Sunday of Family Day weekend. So that's like early February.
Hmm. Like just after
And
Valentine's Day, usually. Yep.
yeah. And so this is like 10 days after like less than 10 days, 9 days after the shooting. This is the Sunday of it. And I'm like, it's 10:30 at night because I'm not really sleeping
Hmm.
anymore. I
Hmm.
have music playing. I'm doing paint by numbers. By the way, paint by numbers is like so irritating. It's the worst thing in the world. I hate it.
Sure.
I
Yep.
never finished it. It's
Yep.
aggravating.
Yep.
But I'm there and it's late at night and I hear kerfuffle on my floor. And I'm like, the party people on the floor moved out. They're not there anymore. This is a very quiet floor.
Hmm.
Um, it's mainly owners on the floor, even though I wasn't an owner. So it's like a different level of like resident
Sure.
there.
Yep.
Um, and I hear like the units are pretty soundproof, but I hear you don't need to break down the door. I have the key. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I go and look through the peephole and
Sure.
I see three cops there and a woman. And I'm like, this is the crazy lady. I hadn't seen her in over a year. Like, and I call her, and I'm very sensitive about calling people crazy, but like this woman's actually crazy.
Okay.
Right? Um, and she, I just like see them go around the corner. I'm like, oh, she's now the landlord of the shooting unit, the unit the shooting happened in. And I'm just like, oh man, I'm just gonna go to my room, which is the furthest away from my door. Like I texted a few people, being like, hey, something's going on, just an FYI, just so you're aware, I may need you. And then I just like hide out of my room, and then I get a knock on my door. And I was at a hard corner on the floor.
Right.
Yeah.
Trying to remember. I'm
And
trying to remember where
so
your place was. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it was like the hard corner. So I opened the door, there's a cop at my door, and there's a cop at my neighbor's door. And like I can see that they're in my neighbor's unit. And the cop in front of me is like, hey, we're just looking into a disturbance. And I'm just like, okay, like what's going on? And then like within that 2-second interaction, we just hear something go down in my neighbor's unit. And I immediately just like slam my door shut, lock myself in, and I look through the people and I see them throw a guy up against the wall. And I'm like, that's not my neighbor.
Mm-mm.
And I like saw the guy's face too. And I was just like, what just happened? And like I text whoever I was texting, I can't remember who right now. And I was like, this just happened. They're like, okay, look, do you feel safe? And I'm like, I don't know. I heard the cop in my neighbor's unit and everything. Somehow I slept that night. And then I talked to my neighbors the next morning. Apparently, a domestic disturbance call had been put in from the floor above us to the shooting unit. There was yelling in the unit from the landlady, the crazy lady,
Mm.
and some other person. And when the cops, like the security came, they overheard it from like the hallway. And so like they called the cops. The cops came, and that's what they were looking into. And so they had cops on the ground, cops on my floor, and this when she was yelling, you don't need to break down the door, she was kind of signaling to the other person who was in the unit to get out. Because I was only on the 7th floor, like you could kind of scale down the building, right?
Yep. Yep.
And then that side of the building faced the park that didn't have lights because it was the army base. So
Yep.
that like they didn't have lights on that part, like the cemetery part. This man scaled 3 balconies and was hiding out on my next door neighbor's balcony. And so when the cop went and opened the balcony door, he didn't see anything. It was pitch black. He turns on the light, and there's a man standing there in all black with a black ski mask. And like that was like right outside my neighbor's bedroom window too, and they were getting ready to go to bed. And so like they owned their unit too. So then they're paranoid. We're talking about like everything. They put ring lights in and like security cameras all around. And I'm just like, what are we gonna do? I go to work. At this point, I've gone from like not talking to anyone to being like, my life's a joke. Like this is going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was like Law and Order SVU Toronto was launching around that time.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
this could be my life right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, this is like a real life promotion and I don't like it. Like that's the only way I could relate to it.
Yeah.
And it got to the point that I had a mental breakdown at work with one of my bosses, and I'm just like, I can't function anymore. Like I can't. And so I drove 2.5 hours to Picton or Prince Edward County
Hmm.
to stay with my friends over there, or like I'm gonna call them family because they pretty much are family, and like see. I call her my niece, so I'm just gonna call them all family. See my niece and just like get cuddles from a baby,
Sure.
only for me to drive back the next day, have someone wait with me until I fell asleep, and then they could go home or like close to falling asleep, so then I could go home. They could go home,
Yeah.
and then fly out the next day
For your
to the
vacation.
Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
And then my work was like, you need to work remotely from there for the second week. And like that is the Cayman Islands is my safe space. Wow, the wine is hitting now.
Oh, the baby. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I was like just so on edge. And it like my therapist was like, you have a lot going on. And like, because I was gearing up to go out on my own for my business and like all this
Mhm.
stuff. And I'm like, do I have to like go on mental health leave? Like it was just so much going on. And then I came back from 2 weeks, had a week in Toronto, and then I went to Houston for a week.
Yeah.
So like didn't sleep for a week and then slept again when I was back in Houston. And
Yeah.
like at that point, like I didn't have any control over my life. I took every day, day by day, I'm like, how do I feel? Do I have emotional capacity to talk to anyone today?
Yeah.
And like that's how I'd have to like plan my days.
I wouldn't say I'm like a overly spiritual person, but I do think that like things happen for a reason. Do you ever have like moments of reflection of being like, hey, maybe if like everything that happened back in Toronto and you saw all that stuff with like the crime and the shooting and all that, like, do you think that was a way, I feel like, or do you think that was a way of making you go back to Houston? Or do you think it was like Houston was already kind of on your mind, like, or whatever? Do you think there's like something like that? Like, again, like that's a horrible something to deal with. But do you feel like something like that like came into your life as like push to be like, get out of here?
Great question, Timothy. Um, yeah, I am someone who thinks like, yes, there's always a greater purpose to like what is going on. Um, it was really hard during that time to see it. And like, especially with the shooting, like that was really hard to see like what is
The greater good.
going on. Like, why am I going through this? Like, and I've like racked my brain as to like what it could be. But I kind of, I guess like in preparation for this, I think things like kind of got a little bit clearer. Like back in like 2023, there was like a day that I just like felt really compelled to write down what I wanted my life to look like. And I wrote it down. And I guess like some people can call it manifestation too, right? But then it's like that, like, do you really understand what manifestation means? Like, if you really want this stuff in life, like, it's not going to be good to get there if your life doesn't look like it right now. So I'm like, my life literally had to crumble and like fundamental things had to change for this new, for what I want to come in. So that's what I'm chalking it up to. It's really hard when you're still in it
Sure.
to like be like, yes, this is why this happened.
Yep.
But I have to have like real faith and like that's why. And like I know it's worked out in the past before, right? But there are days where it's like super hard to be like, yeah, this all is all happening for my better good. It's all taking me to where I need to be. But Toronto, I think before everything happened, my plan was already to be out of there by like August. I ended up moving in June 1st.
But because you were going to move, like you already had plans to go to Houston. Or
I
was
think
it
my
like
plans were to go to
loose?
Chicago.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
In my head, my plans were to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
But I think they pivoted when everything started to happen.
Right.
To come back to Houston because like I needed to be in an environment where I was familiar.
Yep.
And my family was close by.
Yep.
So that's why I think that happened.
Yeah. Like maybe your destiny is to move to Chicago. This was the whole plan of being like, okay, we're going to try Houston, but like maybe not Houston either. Like we're going to keep going.
Yeah, just like
Maybe.
correct time zone, but like too south. Like you need to go further north.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We need to workshop what your year is called.
We need me to get out of it first.
Yeah. But maybe coming out with like what that new term is will like force you into it.
Oh, so we need to start working on this sooner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do that offline, but
Yeah.
Tim, this was a lovely conversation.
This was great. This was my first time being on a podcast, so I feel
Really?
Yeah.
You are a natural.
Am I?
Yeah.
Thanks so much for sharing some fries and a glass of wine with me today. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to follow the show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and subscribe on YouTube so you'll know exactly when the next episode drops. Until then, take care, stay curious, and keep the good conversations flowing. Cheers!